Alright, so several years ago, we took an epic road trip in our Toyota Matrix. If you haven't seen that video series, you should check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the impetus for this channel, but more specifically, this video. It starts off a little slow, but it picks up as it goes. We summarize that crazy road trip as kind of like an appetizer sampler of trips. We got to visit a bunch of places for a brief moment to see where we wanted to revisit. From that road trip, there were a couple places we longed to return to, and lucky for us, we had the opportunity to do just that a couple of years ago. Like any climbing we have done in a destination, this trip wasn't planned around climbing, but rather a family wedding. But we did pack up some climbing gear because there was no way we were going to miss the opportunity with where we were heading. What are we doing?
We're going to Colorado.
What are we gonna do there?
Hot tub.
Hot tub and
Sleep.
Alright, well, we'll leave it right there. So off we went to the airport. Good luck. As I sit here watching this footage, sifting through it, editing this video together, I really get the feels. This was an incredible trip, and I'm super happy to finally share some of it with you, even if it pales in comparison to the actual experience. With all of that said, you can't have amazing ups without some downs, and typical to most of our adventures, things don't always go according to plan. And on that note, here's where things started falling apart. This is what losing your luggage usually looks like. So let's just skip ahead to the impending rant. So, how's your experience been so far?
Pretty shit.
Why don't you give us a quick summary as to why it was so
We went out to the carousel to get all of our checked baggage, and one of my checked bags didn't make it. Now I have only my carry-on, and I can't even remember what I packed in it.
I mean, we have our shoes, and we have our chalk bag, we have our helmets, but all of our other gear, so carabiners, draws, ATCs,
my dress for the wedding.
Yeah, we're going to a wedding. We'll get that though. I'm sure by Friday we have to have that.
Hopefully.
I'm thinking about the week though. My focus is this. And I almost guarantee we won't be climbing as much as we think we are going to.
The other thing, we rented this car, and we thought we were getting a Jeep, and we got this, which is an okay car, but I was expecting a Jeep, and I was pretty excited about a Jeep.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of this thing, so you don't put your key in the car, you just sit in the car and there's a button, but then you have to press the button with the brake pedal.
With the brake.
It's crazy. Speaking of crazy though, check out this view. Woo! That's pretty cool. Not a bad sight. Not a bad sight at all. So yeah, with all of the airport struggles, waiting for hours for a car that we didn't get, and some other things that we've edited out, we were off to a pretty rough start. But it was hard to stay sour with the views we started to see here. Oh, and yeah, where is here? If you haven't figured out where we are yet, here is a not so subtle hint. Yep, that's right, Estes Park, Colorado, aka Rocky Mountain National Park. Super stoked, just reminiscing about it. This lodge was our accommodations for our stay, which we actually quite enjoyed, but it's also where the bad luck continued. To wrap up this rant and make an already long story shorter, I'll spare you the details, but we were given the wrong room, which didn't have a hot tub, a premium we paid for, and honestly needed. While sorting out the problem, they realized someone was checking in with almost the exact same name. What are the chances? It was an innocent mix-up. So we got switched to our room and settled in. Kind of. To avoid another long story, I'll simplify it to this. Our lost luggage got delivered to the room. Awesome, right? It was, except that happened around 2 a.m. when we were expecting it at 8 and waited up the whole time, jet-lagged and exhausted. So we had just enough time to pass out for a few hours before getting up for our first adventure. Early in the morning, we got picked up in this sick-ass van, leaving our rough past in the rear view. We met up with this guy Joey and headed to Lily Lake for our first little foray into sport climbing in Colorado. It was really nice to have someone local show us the ropes, literally. So while we got our act together, he set up a top rope to warm up on a 5.6 called Colorodity. It is on the first slab of this feature and has a front row view of the lakes and the diamond in the background. A great way to start our day out here and warm up. Once we were warm, I led a fairly straightforward 5.9 that I think was called middle toe for Laura to follow after. There was one point that felt a little blank and unexpectedly harder than the rest of the route. When it was Laura's turn to climb, she breezed through it, and I realized that I must have gone slightly off route. As you hear in this clip, I do believe Laura is a better route reader than me, especially at this point in time.
I came to the chain, like to the wrap, like from the left.
Oh, yeah.
I came like straight up.
That's because I'm a better climber than you.
I thought you literally did do that. She's actually a better climber than me.
Unfortunately, we didn't get footage of it, but Laura pieced together a 510B called CG's Naked Fun Time on top rope, sounds like a good time, while I looked at the route beside it. This 511 is called Slabbed Upside to Head. Don't look at me, I didn't name it. I tried to lead it, but failed at a pretty blank looking area. There was a hidden hold that I missed.
Nice, come on, yeah.
But once I figured it out, I knew that I could have possibly on-sighted it if I read it correctly.
Yes, dude. Come on.
Nice. You got it, yeah.
So I decided to get lowered off the chains and try to climb it clean.
Come on. Come on, that's it. Come on out.
Yeah. Nice.
Left foot out left. Yes, dude, come on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yay!
It felt pretty good to send something of a similar grade to the hardest route I climbed at home in a proper climbing destination. I'm sure I could climb harder, but despite the carabiner in our logo, I'm not a very experienced sport climber. So with some success, we headed home for some much-deserved R&R and a hot tub. Because after the first day climbing routes in a beautiful location, of course we decided to rent some crash pads and go wrestle some pebbles. So off we went to Lumpy Ridge to boulder. In a familiar, disorganized fashion, we were going off what we now assume was an antiquated topo map. After hiking in circles, even a parks person couldn't tell us where a trail we were looking for really was. So after sweating profusely on our aimless hike and burning up in the sun, we ended up just setting up shop at this random boulder. It probably has a name. We don't know it.
Oh, there's an inch worm on your crotch pad.
Is there?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
This little buddy. How we doing there, bud?
Alright, here, say something.
What's up? Take your shirt off. Slow.
How slow?
Oh, yeah.
Is this doing it for you?
Totally.
It is 1,000,000 degrees out, so I'm gonna take off my shirt anyway, so I'm glad you prompted me. Alright, I'm gonna climb this, maybe.
Do it.
I can see there's some features. They look like they have chalk on them, or extremely dry. Probably chalk. So it looks like there's a couple different problems that go up different directions. So I'm just gonna mash whatever together and see if I can go to the top.
Do it.
Yeah. Alright, time for my shoot.
There is probably at least one existing problem that goes straight up the middle, but likely others on it as well. I was too scared to climb straight up. It looked sketchy and, well, yeah, kind of tall.
Ooh, almost forgot.
You want to bring your money up there?
No, don't want the extra weight. Alright, let's see how much I suck.
All right. Don't suck too much or you're walking home by yourself.
And with only 2 pads and a spotter who I forced to film me, this random line, which probably wasn't a real problem, is what I set my eyes on.
Looks like a hold.
Yeah.
Find a foot if I do that. I should have looked at this first. Would have helped a little bit.
Yeah. That looks good.
Oh. Now where? You see holds for me?
Sorry, wasp literally ran into my boob.
Too bad it wasn't a bee, because I could have dropped a hilarious booby joke right here. But either way, once the wasps were done accosting Laura, I decided to try my hand again at getting to the top of this boulder.
Nice. Yeah, come on. You got it. Yeah. Yay. You get a castle.
In a tree.
So I got to the top of the boulder and into a tree. I guess that counts for something. We continued to aimlessly wander and look for boulders that existed, but we couldn't find. At the end of the day, it ended up being just a really nice hike with crash pads on our backs.
Hey, you and the aviators. Sup?
No.
No what?
No.
No walk. Look at that view behind you though. Can't really beat that.
I've been trying to get better at truncating stories into more digestible pieces, so while there is a lot more to come in the story, I'm going to wrap it up here and continue it in the next one. But the adventure is just getting started, and we have barely scratched the surface of the beauty of this place. So subscribe if you don't want to miss it, and give a thumbs up if you please. We would appreciate it. Anyhow, see you in the next one. Peace out.